Coach Talley, Northwestern suffered a 25-14 defeat to St. Scholastica on Saturday. What are your thoughts from that game?
Yeah, I guess the first thing is suffered is kind of an interesting term because, yeah, you'd always rather win than lose. There's no doubt about that. But I know our kids gave it their best shot. Maybe it wasn't the best game they played overall, but definitely they gave it their best shot, and that's all you can do.
Northwestern entered Saturday's game with a -1 in the takeaways, giveaways tally. Each team had 4 turnovers in the game, so you unfortunately remain at -1. Does that number bother you, especially on the giveaways side, which would seem to be more controllable?
Yeah, you're always looking to have, and our better teams have had a plus ratio as far as turnovers are concerned, and so that's what you're looking for. It's a huge part of the game, fundamentals. Control the football. That's what our one mission is. We want to control the football and we want to get it back, and so those are things you're always coaching up and doing the best you can in those regards.
Besides the overall thought of losing the game, did any one thing disappoint you last weekend?
I don't think there was any one thing that disappointed me. Certainly there's a play here and there or things of that nature that you don't particularly want to see and try and coach against. But for the most part, again, I think our kids gave it their best shot, and that's all you can do.
Things don't really get any easier for your team this weekend, and the fact that you face Greenville College, who shares the current UMAC lead with St. Scholastica. Only this Saturday you get to go on the road.
Yeah, we enjoy going down to Greenville. It's always a hard battle whenever we play them, whether it's on the road or not, but it's fun to travel. The guys have always enjoyed traveling in our program, and it's just an opportunity for a smaller group. It's an opportunity for a lot of time together and just to get to know each other and have some fellowship, if that's a word you can use these days. And so the guys look forward to the challenge as well on Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Before we talk about Greenville on the field, let's talk a little bit about that bus ride. What does your team do during a 9-hour bus ride to Greenville to stay focused?
Well, quite a bit of movies. That's pretty traditional for most teams these days, is watching movies. Certainly allow for some talking, quiet time, and hopefully guys are studying as well. I know there's always guys that are studying and don't pay attention to the movies. But everybody's a little bit different, and some guys like myself get a little stir crazy sitting there on the bus after a few hours. But it's kind of fun, and we do old school for lunch on Fridays. We just get the peanut butter jelly sandwiches made, and guys make their own, and it's kind of a fun deal.
What's maybe easier or tougher, the drive down or the drive back?
Yeah, it's tough coming back. I mean, the guys are sore. They got ice all over the place, and it's just a long trip. Now, it goes faster because we don't make too many stops. We stop about one time and let the guys get out and have snacks and stuff. But, yeah, it gets to be a long trip when you're coming home at 2 or 3 in the morning.
On the field, Greenville offers probably the most versatile quarterback in the league in Brendan Chambers, who has an 8-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio and leads all players, including running backs, with 12 rushing scores this season. So from a defensive perspective, do you put one guy in Chambers' duty all the time and shadow him, or what's the approach?
Yeah, we know that he's the most effective player for Greenville. There's no doubt about that. He makes a lot of things happen. He's been a great player over the 4 years that he's been there, and so he's a challenge, no doubt. We certainly know that he's one of the key guys to stop, but we don't have anybody in particular assigned to him. An option, it's tough to do that because they got the dive, they got the quarterback, they got the pitch, and so that's one of the challenges that Greenville brings.
Last year, Northwestern played Greenville twice, once in the regular season and then in the final game of the season against in the NCCA Victory Bowl. And both times Northwestern led in the first half before watching the Panthers kind of come back and earn both victories. Do those games still have a bad taste in your mouth, and how do you prevent that second half comeback?
Yeah, I'd say there's a little bit of for me as a defensive coordinator, I mean, we gave up a lot of yards in that second game, and so, we're just trying to make corrections. Greenville coaches on offense really know how to make adjustments as we make adjustments, and so, it's one of those things where they certainly have played well enough to beat us the last few years, and it's come down to the fourth quarter and overtime, and So those are tough losses, yeah, but you know, in life you kind of got to move on and learn from the past.
Finally, we've referenced before the number of UMAC teams that you've coached prior to and at Northwestern, with Greenville being one of them. What were your days like in Illinois, and could you tell us if your favorite restaurant is still standing?
Yeah, great times in Illinois with some great folks. As far as we had a great small group when we were there. We're very blessed by some folks there that just came alongside of us in a tough time, and so we're very blessed to be there at Greenville for those couple of years. Met some new folks that are lifelong friends, and so it's always good to go back and see my friends there at Greenville, no doubt. And my favorite restaurant, yeah, it's still there. Haven't been out when I've been back. Haven't been able to make it. It's a Chinese restaurant. I think it's still there. I don't know, but I used to go there for lunch all the time.
Great. Well, good luck on Saturday. Have fun on the bus ride, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye bye.